Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about how to live in the moment in a relationship. Sometimes this can be difficult to do and you're here to learn more about that, so that's a step in the right direction because it does take effort. And again, we make these videos here at Life on Your Terms so you can do exactly that. Live a life on your terms. So, how to live in the moment in a relationship. Today I'm going to talk about a strategy you can use or a tactic you can employ. I'm going to talk about my experience with living in the moment and how I've done it in my relationship. And then finally, I'm going to talk about some tips and tricks you can do and how to make the relationship exciting. So with that, the first strategy that you can use is simply mindfulness. The idea behind mindfulness is deliberately putting yourself in the present moment to give it the time it deserves. One way you can practice this is you can set a 2-minute timer on your phone while you're alone and simply look around at all the objects around you and only think about those things in the present moment. No thoughts from the past, no thoughts about the future, only your present moment. Observe the objects. That can really help you bring to the present moment. And then when you practice that, you're going to work on bringing yourself to the present. Then you can do that in a relationship through active listening and being curious. As a coach, it's my job to be curious. And so what I find, if you can ask really engaging questions and really try to put yourself in the other person's shoes, it can make you more present. You really look someone in the eyes. That can really help you be present in your relationship and things of that nature. Another really easy tip is put the phones away. So often we have our phones up on the table during dinner or right next to us when we're in a conversation with a partner, and that robs our attention. So what I would encourage you to do is at dinner, put it in your pocket at minimum, and if you can, leave it in the car, because then it'll only be you and your partner and you'll be able to give them the time they deserve. So that's an easy hack, is just put the phone away, because typically they rob our attention from our present moment, and that's what we want to be. We want to be more present and living in the moment. So with that, another tip is just put it on Do Not Disturb, because then only the most important people can reach you. And again, you can be present. Another great tip is to schedule time with your partner. So frequently we schedule time for work, for working out, things like that. But it's also important to schedule time with your partner. So maybe that's 30 minutes at the end of the day when the kids are in bed, or maybe it's 30 minutes right after work. Whatever it may be, you get to define that. But when you schedule that time that you know you're going to be with your partner talking to them, you'll be able to be present and focus on only that, because that's what your time is devoted to. Another little kind of hack I like is what me and my partner do is we have this thing called the percent rule. So maybe we do check-ins together, right? And with those check-ins, sometimes one of us is struggling. So what we like to do, we like to ask each other the question is, where you're at? Where are you at? So sometimes one of us is at 80 out of 100, for example. So we're feeling pretty good. And the other one is at 20 out of 100 in that present moment. And so then the question becomes, the person that's at 80, how can I help you who's at 20 get to a 50 by the end of the day or something like that? And I think that really devoting that effort to trying to be a better partner can help you become more present as well. So those are some strategies you can use to become more present. So now I'm going to transition into kind of some of my experience with this. I've been in a 7-year relationship. Over time, it's grown. We've become infinitely more present with each other. And what I found is in the past, I used to be so worried about work and stuff like that, and I wasn't being fair to my partner. I wasn't giving her the time she deserved. So the mindset shift that I had that really helped me is that I'm a person who wants to kind of like max out all my areas of my life. I want to max out my fitness. I want to max out my professional side. I want to max out everything. So that doesn't mean that I don't want to max out being the best partner possible. So I realized that if I want to do the best in everything I can, that means I've got to be a better partner too. And that means I need to work on maxing out and being a better partner, is to be doing the best I can. So really what that transition consisted of is I was like, I need to give my present mind to her because she deserves it. I'll be a better partner and I'll be able to help her more when I have that mindset. So that's really helped me. Maybe it helps you. That's just been my experience. I found it helps a lot. And then another thing, I already mentioned this a little bit earlier, is check-ins. Regular check-ins tend to be super helpful for me and my partner. So for example, when my partner started student teaching, I checked in with her. Hey, how is that going? What challenges are you facing? What are you enjoying about it? How can I help you? Asking those questions feels really good for me because I get to help her, but I think it feels really good for her. And it also just brings us both to the present moment of lives and our changes we're experiencing. And she does that for me too. It's really great. It's been a great strategy that we've used that help us be more present and live in the moment, as we're all trying to do here. So that brings me to the third point of this, which is make the relationship exciting. And this can almost be one of the most important things. And I think the way you do it is variety and plan dates. So maybe you plan a night out with your spouse, whether that's on a date to a dinner date, or maybe it's mini golf. Whatever you guys enjoy doing, go do it and change it up. Maybe it's once a month, maybe it's once a week. Whatever works for you guys, figure it out, figure out the time you each need so that you can live in the moment and be present with each other, and then incorporate some variety into those planned dates. And I think you'll find that when you start doing that, the relationship's exciting and you want to live in the moment of that relationship because you're excited to be there and you're excited to share that time with your partner. And that's what it's all about. We want to enjoy the relationship, since we want to get to that point. And it will take work. As I've said, this does take work. It's not something you can just flip a switch and you're just going to live in the moment. It's a skill. It's a skill in its own right, where you have to work towards it. And that's okay. And this is the first step in the right direction. And then with that, another thing I like to incorporate, talk about each other, not other people. And what I mean by that is sometimes we can get caught up in talking about celebrities or other world stuff, but that stuff's not very interesting, at least to me. I like to talk about my partner, what she's facing, what I'm facing, and it helps me live in the moment. I'm much more invested when we're talking about each other, and you might find that too. There's been times when I'm out at dinner with my girlfriend and I hear the couple next to me, they're either just on their phones or they're talking about everybody else except themselves. And I feel like it's hard to live in the moment when you're not focused on each other. So that's just a tip from me. That's what I found helpful. So that's something maybe you could try to employ, is talk about each other more. Talk about what each of you are interested in. That might help you bring to the moment as well. And another really good hack I like that makes the relationship exciting is eliminating gray zone time. What is gray zone time? I define it as when you and your partner are in the same room, but you're not interacting with each other. So maybe it looks like one of you guys is watching TV and their other one's on their phone. Or maybe you're both laying in your bed, both on your phones. That time, I feel like, kills desire and kills excitement because there's nothing going on and you're both doing separate things, but you're together. When you are together, you want to live in the moment, as you are here for. So what I would encourage you is to eliminate that gray zone time completely. Again, today we talked about how to live in the moment in a relationship. Hopefully these were some helpful tips for you guys.